Hi friends, good evening. So here I am back with a very small session on data interpretation. What does generally trouble you in DI? क्या चीज़ परेशान करती है? It's either calculations or the fact that you have to make equations at times, isn't it? So that wastes a lot of time for you. And this is especially true for caselet based questions. So if it's a table, a bar graph, something, you can directly start answering questions by looking at the given format of the data. But if it's a caselet, invariably you'll have to first formulate it in the shape of a table or something like that, and then start answering questions. And that's probably the reason why caselet based DIs trouble many people. So I'll take one such caselet today. It's an actual question. It appeared in RRB PO prelims exam last year. So it's a prelims question, but don't think it's a it's a very simple question. Most people could not get it, and in fact it was the toughest question of the quant section of last year's RRB PO prelims paper. Rest everything was very simple. It was a set of 5 questions, caselet based DI. Look at it, solve it, and you'll realize the merit in the question. Now here's the question on your screen. Look at it. It's about 3 colleges A, B, C, in which students have to choose one of the 3 streams: art, science, commerce, and then it's followed by some data. One paragraph here, one here, one here. Not much, it's much for prelims, but yes, a question like this can appear in mains. It's a good question. I told you it's the toughest question of the paper. Now what you have to do here is you have to read it and make a table like this. You can see this 3 colleges A, B, C, and in which there are 3 streams offered: art, science, commerce, A, B, C. You form a table like this, and it was followed by 5 questions. I'll not do the questions. Questions are all very simple. Once you just fill it up, fine. So you put all these values and the totals and all, and then you can answer the questions very easily. Now one thing that you have to do for me here is that before I explain this to you in detail. When every step you have to do this on your own. So anything looks easy when you look at the solution straight away, but when you face it in the exam, you again might be lost. So to learn effectively, to learn optimally, please do it first. Take a piece of paper. It'll take 5-10 minutes. Just give it that 5-10 minutes. It'll have some value for you, right? And then restart the video. I'll explain it in full when it'll have some learning for you, but do it on your own first. Let's get started. Let's discuss this. What does it say? ABC are 3 colleges in which students have to choose one of the 3 streams: art, science, commerce. It means that the total number of students in college A would be sum of this cell, and this cell: art, science, commerce. There is no 4th stream. Simple data. College A has a total of 1750 students. So let's just write this 1750, right? In college A, the number of commerce students is 400 more than the number of science students, and the numbers of arts and science students are in the ratio 23:2. You know for sure that you can solve this and write the numbers here for art, science, commerce in A. But what would you do? Generally, we tend to write a small equation here and we can solve it. Yes, you can do it like that and it'll hardly take any time. But can you do it a little more smartly? Yes, just look at this. It says college A, the number of commerce students is 400 more than the number of science students. Fine. And arts and science, the ratio is 23:2. Can I for a moment assume, now this is visualization, this is very important, please listen to this, it will come in handy. Can I for a moment assume that the number of commerce students and science students are equal? What will happen in that case? If I for a moment assume, this is for the sake of simplicity, that the number of commerce students and science students are equal, this number would then be reduced to 1350, and this ratio would be 23:2, isn't it? I'll not write all this, this is just for explanation. If for a moment I assume that these students, commerce and science students, are equal, then this ratio would be 23:2, right? Here 23:2, and the total number of students would be 1350. It would be like that. What is 23 plus 2 plus 2? That is 27. So 27 units are equal to 1350. Now it is very simple. 27, 1350, 27 into 10 is 270, 27 into 5 is 135. So 1 unit would be equal to 50 here. So you know the number straight away. This would be 23 into 50, this would be 2 into 50, this would be 2 into 50 plus 400 to come back to our original stuff, right? We assumed something to simplify the work for us. Now we'll come back to it. So let's write this. What would this be? 23 into 50, that is simple, that's 1150, 1150. 2 into 50, that will be equal to 100, and this would be 100 plus 400, that becomes 500. And now we are back to our original situation. Now why I did what I just did there? to simplify the work. So if you are new to it, if you're new to visualizing it like this, you might feel it's cumbersome. Why is it required? It's a simple one, isn't it? So that's the first thought that comes to your mind. So no, this is not something that you'll try in the exam for the first time. While you're practicing, while you are honing your problem solving skills, then you try doing all these things and it starts coming naturally. You look at these numbers, you straight away visualize a situation in which you make two numbers equal and then work on the ratios directly and arrive at the final numbers directly without writing anything. Just look at this, look at what it was. What did we do here? This is important, that's why I'm stressing on it. This is 1750, but commas are 400 more. So I just think of it as 1350, not 1750, but 1350. In that case, science and commerce would be equal and this would be 2322. So 27 units become equal to 1350, 1 unit becomes equal to 50, then 23 into 50 arts, 2 into 50 science, and this would be 2 into 50 equal to science plus that 400 that we deducted in the beginning. So 1150, 100, 500 without using pen and paper, and that's how it works. Let's move forward. There are 3250 students in all who study arts in the three colleges. 3250 arts, so let's just write it down here. 3250. Simple data. Move forward. The total number of students who study science in the three colleges is 37.50%. 37.50% is 3 by 8. 12.5% is 1 by 8. It's 3 by 8. All of you know that. Less than that of those who study commerce in the three colleges. So what does that mean? If commerce has 8 students, science would have 5 students. 3 by 8. So 3 less for every 8. So commerce 8, science 5. What would we do? Let us just write this here as 5x and this is 8x, so that we do not need to revisit it. Let's keep moving forward. The number of arts students in college C is 10% more than that in college B. Fine. So here this cell, look at this table. Fine. If it's 11, then B is 10. If B arts is 10, then this is 11. What is this difference? 3250 minus 1150. This is 2100 and B is 10. This is 11. I'm not writing anything so that you start visualizing. This is 10. This is 11. Total is 21. What is this difference? This is 2100. 3250 minus 1150 means what? This is 1000 and this is 1100. Do we need to write anything here? No. Let's keep moving forward. The number of commerce students in college B is 30% less than that in college A. Commerce B is 30% less than that in college A. So A is 500, B would be 70% of 500, that's 350. Again, not a problem here. The number of science students in college B and college C are in the ratio 3:4. So science students, college B, college C. So can we just say that this is 3y and this is 4y? The total number of students in college C is 280 more than that in college B. So here, this total, look at what he's saying. This total, these three cells, 1100, 4y and this blank is 280 more than the total of 1000, 3y and 350. Now we can write a small equation or we can just apply some logic and try writing it directly. Listen to this part very carefully, very carefully. Can I say that the sum of this row C is 280 more than the sum of this row? Fine. 280 more, these three as compared to this three. Look at this difference, arts. Can I say this is 100 more? This is 1000, this is 1100. Look at the pointer, fine, 1000, 1100. So it means this is 100 more. So can I say if this is 100 more and the total is 280 more? So if I just compare these two cells, these two with these two, fine. I'm talking about B for science and commerce, these two with C for science and commerce, these two. Can I say it will be just 180 more? This is 280 more, the total. This is 100 more. I can see this directly. Very simple numbers. This is actual data and such simple numbers. This is 100 more. So when I say these two would be 180 more, these two is 180 more, what would I do? Again visualize a bit. This is 3y and 4y. Let's for a moment assume they are equal. 3y, 3y. If they are 3y, 3y, can I say that the whole difference in that case would come because of this commerce in B and C? This is 350. This in that case would become 350 plus 180. What am I saying? Listen to it carefully. If for a moment I assume that these two cells are equal, fine. Just for a moment assume that these two are equal. If they are equal, then what would this become? 350 plus 180. That would be equal to 530, right? But are they equal? No. We'll again adjust because of what we thought initially. This is not 3y, 3y. This is 4y. So basically we discounted 1y. Fine. This is not 3y, but this is 4y. So we discounted 1y. So we'll adjust it here. How would you adjust it? By doing this. This is it. This is your table. Now solve it. This is very simple. What is the sum here?
100 plus 3y plus 4y, that's 100 plus 7y. Fine, let's write it here. So 100 plus 7y. What is this sum? 500 plus 350, 850 plus 530 minus y. So this would be how much? This would be 1380 minus y. And this is equal to, this is given as 5:8. Just cross multiply, how much would this be? This would be 800 plus 6900. How do you do this? 1380, half of it 690, and then another 0, and that's how you multiply with 5, and this would be minus 5y. It's simple again. This is 56 plus, so that's 61y, and this would be 6100. So this gives you y as 100, and this is what you wanted. Everything else is very simple. This is 3y, I can write 300 here. This is 4y, I can write 400 here. This is 350, this is 530 minus y, so you can just write 430 here. You got everything. If you want to write the totals, you can write that as well. This is how much? This would be equal to 800. This is 1280. This would be equal to what? 1650. So it's not really required, and you should always do this while you're looking at the questions. Don't do it in advance, but this was very simple, so I just wrote it like that, and this is your solution.
Wasn't it doable? Tell me guys, wasn't it doable? Could you not have thought like that? Look, I am not against the idea of writing equations, no. So some people at times misunderstand and say, sir, you are averse to the idea of using x and y. No, I used x as well as y in this question, didn't I? I am against using them mindlessly. We are not robots, we are humans, fine. We're made to think. It's not artificial intelligence, it's natural intelligence, right? Use that. And it becomes so very easy, so very handy. But what is important? One thing, again a word of caution. You have to try using these things while you are practicing, right? While you're solving questions from your practice sheets, exercise sheets. You cannot try this on the day of your exam. You might fail. So it's like learning anything new. You try it for the first time, you're bound to fail. Try it the next time, get slightly better. Do it one more time, you start feeling comfortable. You've done it 10 times, it feels like, oh, that's simple, that's so natural. So thing that we call natural is actually not natural. It comes to us naturally only when we have practiced enough. So we call somebody a natural actor. When nahi bolte is such a natural actor. So that natural actor became a natural actor after a lot of practice, after a lot of rehearsal, isn't it? So that's how it works. So don't expect you to understand all of it and master all of this just after watching the session. No, try using these things. Start visualizing. It's a a very small technique that I've told you, which works wonderfully for me in DI. Start using it, start working for you as well. I've done a lot of DI and arithmetic on this channel. Some of the sessions are very old, but every bit of it still very relevant. Fine. Go through it, you'll find lots of similar stuff. I'll see you soon with another topic very soon. Stay healthy, keep yourself safe, stay happy, and keep working very hard. Good luck.